Are you a pro wrestling fan? Then odds are at some point in your life, you were a backyard wrestler. In this new series, I'm going to take you through how we came from this to this. It's a long story, covering nearly 2 decades. But if you're a nostalgic person missing the backyard days of yesteryear and a simpler time of the 90s and early 2000s, this is the story for you. This is Backyard Wrestling Cinema. Welcome to Backyard Wrestling Cinema Season 5, Episode 1. It's March of 2003, and we're in the middle of Jackson, New Jersey. We were entering what many of us consider the greatest summer of our entire lives. I was in my final year of high school. On our Backyard Wrestling TV show, we had just wrapped up our XWA invasion, which was another promotion that we created to feud with our promotion, B4W. And we originally did this because we were filming in the wintertime, and half the show was going to be filmed sort of in darkness, and the other was filmed in daylight. So what we tried to do was make it like it was 2 separate shows, the XWA and the B4W, and the idea was that in the end, we could do this big invasion angle and this big pay-per-view, the XWA versus B4W. Well, we had done that pay-per-view, and this was our first show back. Now, in between that last show and this show, our TV show on public access had changed from an hour-long time slot to an hour and a half. To start off the show, the B4W owner, TJ Money, kicked off everything with our brand new replica belt. Now, these were the early days of the replica titles, so they were very thin. They were the 2mm thin belts. But to us, it was like having a real belt. Like, we never thought in our wildest dreams we would have a metal belt. Our belts had previously been made out of electric tape and cardboard. So needless to say, this was a big deal for all of us. As he started the show, the B4W owner, TJ Money, threw away the XWA sign that stood in the back. My character, Denver Street, came out to accept the belt, and I had a long list of people I wanted to thank. But I would be interrupted by my own cousin, Mumbles, alongside his new pal, Roblivious. Mumbles would ruin my celebration, splashing water everywhere, getting it all over the camera and myself.
He's proud. He's so proud.
We set up a tag match as the main event where Mumbles and Oblivious would take on me and a partner of my choosing. Backstage, TJ Money was in his office, which was a bathroom, when Mr. Benjamin's came in. After every show, we would go to my girlfriend's house and watch the shows. And it was during this time that we started coming up with the idea of filming all the vignettes there to give it a separate location and a different location for every scene. Benjamin says he wants a rematch against Homeboy Joe Slice for the U.S. title after losing to him last week at the pay-per-view, when worlds collide. TJ Money isn't convinced until Mr. Benjamin's pays him off, and he gets a rematch at our next pay-per-view, Aftermath. We did an exhibition match between Agent Bibbs and Justin Time, who had the Fly Girl as his manager. These were 2 new guys who came along. They were a grade or 2 below us, and they were very new, and we would work with them before the shows and try to get them up to speed before we were putting them on TV. And this was kind of their first go-around. And now that we had this hour-and-a-half time slot, we could afford to put on people who weren't always on the show and introduce new characters to the show. In the end, Agent Bibbs got the win. Homeboy Joe Slice complains to TJ Money that Benjamin shouldn't get a rematch, and TJ Money sets up a battle royal. Benjamin immediately begins bribing people not to participate, including Tommy Thunder.
Well, I got a proposition for you. What's it called? What's the word I'm looking for?
Let me guess. You're trying to bribe me to stay out of the Royal Rumble, so your chances of winning are better. Yeah, I'll be a better.
Next up is TJ Money versus Tommy Thunder. Tommy Thunder explains TJ let him back into B4W after the XWA got shut down. In real life, we had expressed to TJ Money a number of times that the WWF or WWE impressions were lame, and it got on under everybody's skin, and it just wasn't the kind of show we wanted to do. We didn't want to be a bunch of play wrestlers, even though that's very much what we were.
To the corner. It was some chop. Trying like...
It was a back and forth match, and in the end, Joe D of Misery came out to everyone's confusion and cost Tommy Thunder the match.
Ooh. My man, TJ Money. Oh, I get it. TJ Money purposely orchestrated this. He's a smart man. Oh, Joe with that spinning rock bottom.
TJ Money gets the win. Battle Royal was up next. It started off with Bobby Bowe and Mr. Benjamin's. And this one was just pure chaos.
Oh, it's a brawl for all, ladies and gentlemen. It's nothing you can...
Just chaos.
David, side. Yeah. We got real things for those folks. I tell you.
Like, chaotic.
Very well as a team. Bobby Bo coming in to intercept one.
Hellspawn and Rico continued their feud. In the end, Mr. Benjamin's eliminated Joe D of Misery to win the Battle Royal. So if you're keeping track, Mr. Benjamin's asked for a title shot, was told no, paid off the owner, got the title match, but then had to win a Battle Royal in order to get that same title match. Good. Glad you're paying attention.
And it looks like Benjamin just eliminated Joe D.
Mr. Benjamin's is the winner of the Royal Rumble, which means he's the first.
Backstage, Justin Time and the Fly Girl get into a dispute. Next up was our main event. It was myself, the world champion Denver Street, and the United States champion Homeboy Joe Slice. We were both part of a group called the Old School Alliance. I know what you're thinking. The world champion is also the booker. It's never been done in wrestling before. I know. It was quite the genius. We took on Mumbles and Rob Oblivious. Mumbles, of course, was my cousin. The opening of the match had them kind of one-up me. My character was supposed to be this scientific wrestler, and every time I did something, they would counter it and kind of step all over me.
Throw him in the lockup. Mom was actually starting here. Actually showing me some wrestling. Wrench in the arm there, my God, Mumbles. He just schooled Denver Street in what Denver Street prides himself most in. Matt. Lock up again.
Oblivious now. With actual wrestling maneuvers on Denver Street.
Oh, the same thing as Mumbles.
At some point during the match, Mumbles accidentally kicked me in the knee, and my knee went the wrong way.
The ceremony of a double foot.
And in the end, he beat me with my own finisher. And the idea of doing the pay-per-view match, me versus my cousin for the world title at Aftermath, and we were just going to keep building to that in the next couple weeks.
Shots to the back.
He just took Denver Street's move.
1, 2, 3, and Mumbles gets the win.
However, it would start to completely fall apart, and we're going to get into why in these next couple episodes. That's all for this week. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time right here on Backyard Wrestling Cinema.
He's been doing it for quite some time. Oh, and the big elbow.
No, going for a suplex.
Beautiful suplex. Snapped him right out of it.